Okay, teachers and homeschool families, have I got a treat for you? If you're looking for a way to help students better understand rational numbers, I have a solution. Cubes. Join me and learn how we can make a difference with tiny cubes and a big impact on student understanding. Join me. Okay, so let's look at this wonderful bag here. This will cost you about $1.25, as is the glass container. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and open up the package here, grab a few cubes so we can do a demonstration of how this all works. And I even have some that have up to 6 colors. I'm going to move everything out of the way. Wait. I generally like to have all the different 4 colors, or however many colors are in the bag. So let me grab a blue one really quickly. I'm going to use a fine, not ultra fine, fine Sharpie, and just start writing different rational numbers. So when I'm working with students, or if you're a home school family and you've done an introduction to the different types of rational numbers, you can write them here along the cube, or ask your kiddos to write those different rational numbers. So I have a whole number, I have a negative fraction, I have a decimal, so I'm checking. Here I'll put a negative integer. What else can I use here? Let me see, another negative. How about a negative decimal? And finally, I will go ahead and use a fraction, positive fraction in this case, 4/7. So as quick as that, we made a cube. We can check for understanding that, our kiddos know what rational numbers are. Okay, so now we have a couple more cubes. Sped this up a little bit. If you have students in higher grade levels or more advanced students, you can use irrational numbers like pi. You can use square roots. You can also use expressions that they can evaluate. These cubes are very versatile. So let's look at this operations cube, where it has the different type of operators and also comparisons. And let me move these back a little bit and I can show you how this can work. So we can roll this cube. We have an addition symbol here. We can grab a couple cubes. I like having the kids use different color cubes for the different types of operations or comparisons. Let's roll it again. Let's say you want them to order. And here you see G to L, that's greatest to least. And I like greatest to least because that's where a lot of kids have issues, right? As opposed to least to greatest, our natural counting order. And in this case, as opposed to a worksheet that has the same 4 numbers, in this case, they're able to move around, they're able to explore a little bit, and they have a sense of ownership because these are cubes they made. And so in this case, again, you see having them pick out the different colors so that there's some variety there, and it just makes the world of difference. Let me try one more thing here. Let's roll again. And here we have the less than symbol. So again, just picking out, 2 cubes. And here I could get that -7. And let me look, I want a different color, and -11. And here we go. And so now let's transition so I can show you how to store these cubes. Let's go. All right. So again, for $1.25, you have a great storage little container here. And you just plop the cubes in there. I like to keep some empty ones in there for the kids because that you will need to replace them, or for them to make additional cubes. You just close it up, and it's that simple. And it can be used for so many operations, so many activities, and it's just an awesome tool. Trust me, kids love working with these little cubes. And I think one of the reasons is because they create the cubes, they generate the numbers. So they have that little ownership, right? That little agency. And it makes them want to share, like, look at what I created. So, like, I remember being in the classroom and the kids are being competitive, particularly when it's time to roll and share and do these different operations. Homeschool kids wanting to, share with their siblings, or if they're in those small group settings in homeschools or even micro schools, it really packs a punch. And again, this is the same information that you would see on a traditional worksheet, right? But the kids are able to get hands on and it's theirs. And that's why I think that the learning for them is so much more impactful. So I hope you will enjoy this activity because I know that kids will enjoy creating their cubes and using them for years. Now, you will have to replace them. Like I said, they are cubes if kids are using them, but it's definitely something that'll last long term. Let's get a little bit into price. So again, a pack of 50 cubes will cost around $1.25. If you are off season, like from the beginning of the school year, and I try to get as many as possible, just because, you're working with kids and I want to make sure I have enough. But generally, the wooden cubes are available off season for about $1.25. And if you do have to get them online, I've seen a range of pricing from $3 up to like $7. So it's really just, making sure you get it right in time and look for bargains. So this, again, will be such an impactful lesson. And so that's $1.25. A glass jar or any type of plastic container that you want to hold the cubes in will run you about $1.25. The glass jar that I showed just a couple of minutes ago was $1.25, and I think they're so cute and they make such a great presentation in either that homeschool setting or in a classroom. It kind of has that elegance but still a little playful, and I love it. So when you think 50 cubes, a glass jar, other type of container, 250, that's a great type of lesson activity for students that they can use multiple times. They can use it for operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. They can use it for comparing. They can use it for ordering. They can use it for evaluating expressions. When you think about how many things they can use from one little cube they created along with other cubes their classmates may have created, or if they create more than one cube, that cube packs a lot of punch. So, just start by going out to that store, grabbing some cubes in a glass jar or some plastic containers. Start by using that permanent marker that is fine tipped, not ultra fine and not regular, because you want that perfect kind of, when you're writing the letters, you don't want them to be too big or too small, or the numbers. And, thrive by integrating these cubes into multiple lessons that kids can use throughout their math lessons. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.